Page 22, Inquiétude. It didn't give an English translation to that, so I massacred that name, whatever it is. That's what it is. It's Etude number 18 in the book. 2/4 time, we're in the key of E minor. Now we got these 16th notes. So here the idea is even 16th notes synchronized with the left hand, 8th notes. So the whole thing sounds like it's all nice and even. So let's take it slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And this fingering, I assume most all fingerings in these books are on this part is pretty much the same as 3, 2, 1. Whatever the notes are. So slowly, 1, E, and Now here, you gotta hang on to that in here. Otherwise you had rests in between the others, and that's an important difference, so keep that. And then it's soft at the beginning. See those marcato marks, those little wedges? Those are marcato marks. Still can't talk. They're give a little edge to them, and they're kind of short. So then all you got to do is play them softly. So do your marcato softly. Now, some editions put in a swell in that. So it's like in the second measure it'll be a little louder and then come back off. Some editions don't give anything. Well, the idea is get to know it well enough so that you can feel it, and when you interpret it, you will feel these swells. If you feel a swell, do it. If you don't feel a swell, don't do it. This type thing. When you get to measure 5, there's a crescendo in this edition. Now, when you crescendo up here, you're going to go up to about a moderately loud at measure 9. That's where you're headed. Don't get moderately loud until measure 9. So you're soft here at measure 5, just a hair louder, a little louder. Actually here you can be moderately loud here. At measure 8 you can get there. And then going on measure 9 you're moderately loud. Measure 15, there's a dim epochal. You're going to get softer and a little slower, not a lot. And then on measure 17, the odd tempo comes back like it was at the beginning. And on measure 21, you get a crescendo. Now here, you get rest in the left hand. This is different than what we had above. So you're going to rest it in the left hand. You need to repeat that, but let's go on. Let's go on to measure 25. You're here, second ending. Now, this left hand is connected, and you lift up here. So do that. It gets softer. Now these it's got the wedge on there. It's a little tricky because some publishers used wedges as accents, or a lot of times in the manuscripts of the composer when they write it out, they couldn't tell the difference between a wedge and a dot, because sometimes when the composer was writing stuff, a dot it's kind of hard. Sometimes it would come out as a wedge, a vertical line, and so the publisher would put in a vertical line, a wedge, when that really wasn't intended. So we have to be careful on these. In my opinion, at the end of these marcatos are not marcatos, they're staccatos. But you give it the natural accent anyway. because it's a 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, here, even at the end. So it's go up to here. We want to hear that. So I would be a little leery on these wedges in this piece. That you'd probably get away with just playing them staccato. Speed-wise, well, agitated allegro, agitated fast, but it's got to be accurate. So be agitated accurately, whatever that is. So don't go beyond that. So you'll find recordings of this. I disagree with performing these. That's my problem. I don't want you copying me. Oh, okay, this is how you did it. Okay, this is what I'll do. Because you're not learning to read the music or interpret anything. All you're doing is copying somebody. I want you to read the music yourself, get into it, feel it, and how do you feel it should be interpreted. As long as you don't violate anything the music is telling you, you can do pretty much anything you want. As, you know, over time you develop a musicality about you where some things are just not musical, even though it might be legal, you still wouldn't do it. So over time, but make a stab at it. Don't just copy somebody else's. If you're going to listen to somebody play it, listen to several people play it, because they'll play it differently. You know.